Welcome into Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on the show, London must play. It's time for a separation of both parties and be right. Don't worry about being first. Talk about all that next. Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into this Thursday edition of Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in your search browser. Hit that subscribe button. We're headed toward 4,000 subscribers, so we thank you greatly for being a part of that growing community. Leave us a comment about what we talk about. Free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review. Download us for free today. And, of course, follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. A lot of gamesmanship here by the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and especially regarding Drake London. So yesterday, the Falcons practiced at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and they're trying to, get acclimated, whatever. They want to be better at home. I get it. You know what the record is, by the way, the last 3 years at home? 7-17. Yeah, not good, right? So we talked about this yesterday. This is important. Falcons have to find a way to win. They have to get off on the right foot, and you have to start being good at home and taking care of business in your division, right? All those things that we talked about yesterday. Well, part of that is you need your first-round draft pick on the field on Sunday. And Arthur Smith was, again, very coy about whether or not Drake London was going to play. Now, in the half-hour part of the practice that the media saw, he took part in it. No pads, no nothing like that. Did some drills and stuff like that. So he has practiced Monday and yesterday. The trick will be Friday if you practice, because that'll tell you if he's going to play or not. But then Arthur Smith had his press conference afterward and said, yeah, we'll probably evaluate him and we'll make a decision on Saturday. Okay, let's be honest. They've already got their decision made up, and they have the medicals to probably know and understand. I'm going to assume that he plays. Let me tell you, though, he must play. You look at one of the matchups in this game coming up on Sunday, and that is most likely they put Lattimore on Kyle Pitts, which they did last year in those two games. And Kyle Pitts' numbers, so overall in the two games against the New Orleans Saints, 12 targets, 5 receptions, 70 yards. Now, the yards per reception is pretty good, but the numbers are pretty pedestrian because that's 2 games worth. And against Lattimore himself was 2 catches and 22 yards. So the Saints, who have a very good secondary, we know this, right? With Lattimore and now they've got Honey Badger on, we know they have a good secondary. And they can take guys away, and they took Pitts away from really doing much of anything. 5 for 70s, chicken feed, right, over a 2-game stretch. You need Drake London on Sunday. Not to stretch the field, because that's not what he does, but you need more targets. You need more weapons. Because here's the thing. We talked about the pass rush that the Saints have, right? One of the ways you can slow that down, obviously, is running the football. Okay, how good is our offensive line going to be? How much can we run the football? And if you get behind and you have to throw it, you need London as a weapon, because you're not having to block long enough for him to, truck downfield. You need to block just long enough for him to run his pattern and throw it up to him a little bit and let him use that size and catch radius and all those kinds of things. You need London on the field Sunday. And I am a little bit worried. And I know what you're all going to comment. Oh, don't worry. Okay, the guy missed a month of practice, and he's your first-round draft pick. A month of practice. And he didn't play in the preseason. There's 5 snaps. That part doesn't bother me. But a month of practice and training camp, that does bother me. And not everybody, look, we'll talk about more about this in a second, but he's your first-round draft pick, 8th overall draft pick. You can't slow work that guy in, with all due respect, to what your roster is. Your roster isn't good enough to slow work in the number 8 pick overall. You've got to get him cranked up and going. Now, we'll talk more about this in just a second. But first, let me talk about my friends over at Built Bar. Built.com is the place to go. You know how much we've bragged on these protein-infused marshmallow puffs, right? Well, they have their newest flavor out, the cookie dough chunk puffs. Light, chewy texture, real cookie dough chunks in there, and then covered in 100% real chocolate. Go to Built.com today. Check out their menu of all the different Built bars that they've got, the marshmallow puffs, the regular protein bars. Everything is designed to be high protein, low calorie. These chocolate or these cookie dough chunk puffs are 160 calories with 15 grams of protein in them. So you're looking for a quick, easy snack, something that doesn't overload you on sugar, something that doesn't have too many calories, things like that. The marshmallow infused protein puffs, that's the perfect thing to go for. So head to Built.com today. And when you get there, go through their menu, put your order together. And when you get to checkout, use that promo code LOCKEDON15, LOCKEDON15, LOCKEDON, the number 1, the number 5. Use LOCKEDON15 as your promo code at checkout, and you get 15% off your order simply by using the promo code LOCKEDON15. Head to Built.com today, check out their wide range of products, put your order in, and save 15% off. So then in his press conference, Arthur Smith was talking about, he was asked about rookies and workload and all this kind of stuff. Well, you got to work guys in and, fatigue and injury and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear any of that. Jamar Chase last year, who was the 5th pick. So I know that there's this cavernous gap that you're going to tell me about 5 and 8 in the NFL. He played 17 games, 128 targets, 81 catches, 1,455 yards. I don't want to hear about working guys in. We ain't got time for that. We're trying to win football games. You guys told me we're trying to win football games. The coaches are telling me we're trying to win football games. I can't slow work my number 8 draft pick in. So, I don't understand the gamesmanship. What are you gaining by this? You're not fooling the Saints. Saints are prepping and preparing for Drake London. Get your fans excited. Arthur talked yesterday. He was on a radio station. He was talking yesterday about, we're going to get the fans in. Okay, well, don't be coy about your first-round draft pick. You want to get people in the stands and excited, say, London's look good, practicing, he's ready to go. Don't tell me you're waiting until Saturday. Don't tell me about workload management. Jesus, what is this, the NBA? I got to load manage guys? Run them out there. Let's go. Huck it up to them. Let's go. Jamar Chase was 17 games, 1,455 yards. I want to go at it. Let's go. I want him to be my guy. But don't tell me about Saturday, workload management. Tell the fans what we want to hear. Even if it's BS, what difference does it make? You're giving me BS now. Tell me that London has had 2 good days of practice. Don't worry, he's ready to go, fans. And you're going to see him in that starting lineup on Sunday. And we're ready to rock and roll against them. Guess what London's going to be on Sunday? Full tilt boogie, baby. Full tilt boogie on Sunday. Tell your fans that. You want them in the stands? You want them to get excited? What doesn't excite fans is, well, he's practiced good, but he's progressing, because you're not fooling the Saints. But what you are doing is raising the questions for your fans about, oh, God, is London going to play? I think he is, but I don't know. They said Saturday, and now they're talking about workload management. Come on. Tell your fans what they want to hear. Let's go. If he's ready, say he's ready. Let's go. Full tilt boogie. I want to hear those words out of Arthur Smith's mouth. Hey, you know what we're going to do Sunday? We're going full tilt boogie. No need to be coy about this. If he's ready, let's go. But the Falcons need him on the field Sunday. They need all the weapons they can get, because we need to win this game. All right, when we come back, it's time for both parties to move on. I'll explain next. Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery. Back on Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery and Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in the search browser. Hit that subscribe button when you get to our page. Leave us a comment. Free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Download us today for free. Spotify, Odyssey. Pick your favorite and download us. Leave us a 5-star review. And then, of course, follow me at JMCH316 on my personal Twitter page. Yesterday morning, literally as we were recording the show yesterday, we got word that Atlanta United had suspended Josef Martinez for this week. No training, no being at the facilities, and not playing. And this is stemming from a couple of different things. One is the reports are, and this comes from a guy that I talk to pretty regularly in Felipe Cardenas, who does a great job covering Atlanta United. He was talking about the idea of Martinez and Gonzalo Pineda, the manager, had a blow up and a confrontation in the locker room after the game. And then it has led to an incident that included Josef Martinez tipping over a table of food that was chicken and rice and all kinds of stuff, and tipped over a whole table's worth of food out there. Obviously, this has not been a good year for Atlanta United in any stretch. But injuries aside, they also haven't utilized their attackers enough. They haven't been able to get enough goals in the back net. Yeah, they're creating chances, and their on-target shots are really – their shots and their shots on target and their chances are all really good. But their goals scored, which at the end of the day is the only thing that really matters, right? I mean, doesn't matter if you get your right hand chopped off in a farming accident. Doesn't really matter what happened. The net result is you're called lefty for the rest of your life. So they're not putting the ball in the back of the net enough, I should say. And Josef is not starting. And he came in the Portland game and scored a goal and all that. And Felipe Cardenas asked Gonzalo Pineda after the match, why is he not starting? Well, there's reasons and this and that and everything like that. I know what Josef Martinez has meant to both Atlanta United and MLS. He's the most prolific scorer the league has ever seen, right? And he is a legend here. He brought a championship for Atlanta United here. He's been the most prominent name in MLS, star power, everything else. But I'm here to tell you, it's time for both parties to separate. And there have been rumors about this may be Josef's last year or stuff anyway. Take the injuries and getting older and just not fitting in with what the coach wants to do. I hate to use this term of you have to pick the player or the coach. But in this case, whatever it is, you trade Josef, you sell him to a foreign club, whatever. It's time for both parties to separate. It's time for both parties to hit the reset button and try something different. Because Atlanta United loves to talk about itself in the aspect of, well, we want to be one of the top teams in the world and an international brand and this, that, and the other, and win this, Okay, can I tell you first and foremost, before we worry about CONCACAFs and U.S. Opens and all this other nonsense, win your league. The league you play in is called Major League Soccer, MLS. Win the league. And it's time to hit the reset button with Josef. Whether it's injuries, fit, whatever. This is not working out. And simply going through an offseason and simply getting Miles Robinson and Brad Guzan back, that's not fixing everything. There's an inherent problem with the way your star is being used and the way he thinks he's being used and his reaction to what the coach is and everything else. The incident itself, tipping over table, the problem is it's becoming repetitive behavior. The problem is we're getting reports of a blow up here, a dust up here, this table over here. He's not happy with this. It's not working out. This is not growing pains. You don't have growing pains with your superstar. You start your superstar and you rock and roll. And if there's a reason why Pineda doesn't want to do that, then move on from him. Collect the money you can get from him, get all the players you can in a trade, and move on from him. Now, we'll talk more about this in just a second. But first, let me talk about my friends over at Coffee AM. You know how much I love these folks. I drink their coffee every single morning. I'm so happy to get up. First thing I want to do when I get up, besides use the bathroom, is go make me a pot of coffee. So coffeeam.com is the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Right here in the state of Georgia. Locally, they're up in the Canton area. I want you to head to coffeeam.com/lockedon. coffeeam.com/LOCKEDON. Check out their wide range of menus. You need K-cups. You need organic. You need flavored. Whatever your style and your preference of coffee is. Maybe you want tea. Guess what? They got that there. Maybe you need a gift set. Maybe you need a mug, a pug, a bug, a rug, whatever. They got everything you need at coffeeam.com. So head there today, coffeeam.com/locked-on. Check out their wide range of products. Put together that first order. And when you get that first order put together and you head to the checkout, use the promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON. Use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout, and you're going to get 15% off that first order. 15% off your first order by using the coupon code LOCKEDON. Coffeeam.com, the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Now, look, Atlanta United has what it feels like is its star power, right? You've got Araujo and you've got Thiago Almada and guys like that, Cisneros and guys. You feel like that there are guys to build with, and we thought that this would be a pretty good roster this year. And I hate the idea of Josef leaving because, again, we talk about the stars in Atlanta sports. He's been a star in the world of Atlanta sports. A few years ago, he was right up there with the Matt Ryans and the Ronald Acuna Jr.'s as far as who's the biggest star in Atlanta sports. And he did bring a championship to this town, which there haven't been very many of those, right? So while I understand and I know what he has meant to Atlanta sports and Atlanta United specifically, and what he's meant to the bigger picture of MLS, brought an exciting style of play, lots of goal scoring, right? That's what we want to see. I don't want to hear about, I have a saying, or it's used in wrestling all the time, but I don't care how the watch was made. Just tell me what time it is. Or some people like to say, I don't care about the labor pains. Just show me the baby. I don't care how many shots and attempts and this, that, and the other. Hell, I can do that in my dating life. Throw up a bunch of shots. But if I don't meet anybody or actually go on a date, what the hell difference does it make, right? You got to put the ball in the back of the net. And they're not doing that enough. This is one of their lowest scoring seasons that they've had in Atlanta United's history. And so, unfortunately, there's an old saying, in the movie Cocktail, remember the movie Cocktail? Tom Cruise had the great line, Coughlin's Law, nothing ends well or it wouldn't end. And that's where we're at with Atlanta United. They need a reset. Look, they've got to figure out their front office with replacing Darren Eales. What's the future of Carlos Bocanegra? They haven't done a good enough job of replacing their role players, the Nagbys and the Michael Parkhurst of the world. They haven't done a good enough job of replacing those guys. They have a lot that they have to figure out. And I think what they have to do, honestly, is just step back. Let's hit reset. Josef's been a pillar of this, team, but the injuries and the style and the clashes with the coach, we're at a point where it's time for both parties to go their separate ways. Trade them, sell them, whatever it is. If we're going to hit the reset and we're going to redo the front office, let's go ahead and start really redoing the roster. And don't build around Josef anymore. Use the Almadas and the Araujos and those guys and build around from there. All right, when we come back, it's better to always be right and not worry about being first. I'll explain next. Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery. Back on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery and Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in the search browser. Hit that subscribe button when you find our page. Leave us a comment. We are free and available to download on all your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review. Downloads for free today. Follow me at JMCH316 on my personal Twitter page. Unfortunately, in the media world of today, it's not a matter of being right. It's a matter of being first. Everybody has to be hot take. Everybody has to be over the top. Everybody has to have a quick talk with my source. Let's get it out on social media. You put it on the tweet page, you do the Instaface, the Graham book, and all this other crazy stuff that they've got going on today, right? Enter Doug Gottlieb. And this is funny because I actually got emailed to me yesterday the statement from Doug Gottlieb and the statement from Casey Close, the agent in question. So this goes back to, remember the whole Freddie Freeman negotiation process, right? And his agent, Casey Close, and their agency. So Doug Gottlieb on June 29th tweeted out, Casey Close never told Freddie Freeman about the Braves' final offer. This is why Freeman fired him. Now, for some context, this goes back to the report was that Freddie Freeman wasn't notified about the Braves' final offer. He didn't know about it. That's why he thought they didn't make him an offer, and he signed with the Dodgers. Casey Close said, nope, that's not true. We told Freddie Freeman every offer, every step of the way. But Doug Gottlieb, who was a radio host, if you don't know, national radio host on CBS, he put out there that, well, my sources said that they never offered and this, that, and the other. So what Casey Close did was he sued Doug Gottlieb. Good. He sued Doug Gottlieb for libel and said, wait a second, your statements are not true. They're inherently false. And Casey Close even said, we're going to give you a chance to apologize. But if you don't, we're going to pursue this thing. Guess what Doug Gottlieb didn't do? He didn't apologize. So yesterday, we got an email statement through our radio company that said, talking about what Doug Gottlieb and his statement that he had yesterday. Here's the statement that he put out yesterday in talking about this case. On June 29th, I commented on alleged circumstances surrounding Freddie Freeman's negotiations with the Atlanta Braves and his relationship with his former agent, Casey Close. While I always strive to report accurate information, I prematurely reported on these events and simply got it wrong. Duh. Upon further vetting of my sources, a review of the lawsuit filed against me in this manner, and a direct conversation with Casey himself, I have learned that the conduct I alleged did not occur, and there's no credible basis for stating that it did. My ultimate investigation in this matter confirms that Casey Close did, in fact, communicate all offers to Freddie Freeman, and the sources I relied on were incorrect. Duh. In no uncertain terms, I appreciate the damage the misinformation like this can cause and have been in touch with Casey Close to apologize directly. I have also deleted my original tweet. Well, that solves everything. He deleted his tweet. Thank God, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. If you're talking to Casey Close after he filed a lawsuit after you and said, hey, chump, this ain't true, why didn't you go to him from the very start? Why didn't you go to him and say, my sources are telling me that you did not make an offer, a final offer to Freddie Freeman. You did not give him the Braves' final offer. Why didn't he do that? Why did he say, here's what my sources are telling me? You don't have to name his sources, but say, my sources are telling me that you did not tell Freddie Freeman about the final Braves offer, and let him confirm or deny it and prove it otherwise. But instead, because Doug Gottlieb, like so many of these ninny hammers and these knuckleheads and these nudnicks, it's so important to fast get it out on social media. I got to get it on my tweet deck. I got to get it on my Instaface, my Gram book, and all this stuff. We got to get it out there. Hurry up. We got to get it out. And I got to get my heart emojis and my likes and my retweets, and I'm trending. Well, Doug Gottlieb's trending now because his ass got sued for, libel. And the guy said, wait a second, this ain't true, and I'm coming after you. Good. Now, yesterday, too, we also got a statement. I got this emailed to me as well from Casey Close's PR people. Statement from Casey Close. From the onset, we were clear that Mr. Gottlieb's tweet was wholly inaccurate, and that we would seek legal remedies to set the record straight. He has retracted his statement in its entirety and acknowledged that he got the story wrong. We consider this matter closed. I say boo to that. F him. F him. Go after him. You're not, because again, he's not the first. He ain't going to be the last. I got to be hot take. I got to get hot take. Got to throw all this stuff out there. I got to get tweets and likes and heart emojis and retweets and quote tweets and more profile visits and all this kind of stuff. Because you got to get your stuff out there. This would have been very easy for Doug Gottlieb to fix and handle. Go right to Casey Close and say, here's what my sources are telling me. Here's the stories. Here's what I've got. Here's exactly what I'm being told. What's true, what's not true. Because if I don't get a straight answer, then I am going for all this. Would not have been hard. Vet the guy who's the original source. Hell, he's vetting him now. Well, I talked to Casey Close. Well, why the hell didn't you talk to him then? Why the hell did you wait till you put the tweet out, got sued, told you were a liar about the whole damn thing, trusted sources that were wrong, This happened in the Deshaun Watson thing too. There were people that were playing, Deshaun Watson, Atlanta Falcon. My sources tell me he's Atlanta Falcon. And if not, I'm going to shut my Twitter down. Okay. Is your Twitter shut down? No? Oh, okay. So you lied about that too. I get the idea of, in today's news cycle, we got to be first. We got to be hot take. We got to be woke, right? They got shows, Get Woke in the Morning, right? All this kind of crazy, goofy stuff that we got going on. Nobody cares about being right anymore. Nobody cares about getting the story right and accurate. Nobody gives a damn. Yesterday we got a report from The Athletic about the Deshaun Watson situation, which basically, if you read the article, basically tells you that what Arthur Blank and Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot said about how much they really pursued Watson was a lie. Every bit of what they said was a lie. The owner of the Falcons lied about how far into that negotiation that they had gotten. Well, what does it matter? It matters because of their integrity. If I can't believe or trust any source like that, and especially from the quote-unquote news media, this is why I tell everybody, I'm not in the media. I work for media platforms. My job's to entertain. My job's I put information together, try to give you information, and entertain you at the same time. I'm not a jerk. I don't cover the team. I don't follow them on a day-to-day basis. I'm not on the beat and stuff like that. If I have my sources, and there are people that I trust and people that I know it's a bunch of Michigas, and I won't go with any kind of story if I don't have my information correct on it, or I don't feel like it's credible. I was told about the Calvin Ridley situation from people, and I believed it. And I really didn't talk about the story, and I didn't talk about the fact that I had heard that he had been broken into and had this incident, and there was this, all this stuff going around it. I didn't talk about that because I didn't know if I couldn't believe enough that story was true, but it was what I heard. And once I heard this, the arrests and all this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, that confirmed everything that I was told. But this is ridiculous. This didn't have to happen. F. Doug Gottlieb. I wish Casey Close would pursue legal charges, throw him in a gulag, whatever. Ruin his life too. Oh, that's not nice. I don't give a damn if it's nice. Somebody's got to be held accountable instead of just being held to hot takiness. All right, we thank you so much for making Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery your first listen every day. Make A to Z with Mark Zinno your second listen every day. Mark's talking all things Atlanta sports, hot take opinions there too, right? Now, I kid. Listen, opinions that you got to hear from Mark. He's free and available on our YouTube page at Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head there today, hit that subscribe button. Free and available to download on your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review. Then follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Back tomorrow to wrap up the week. We'll preview Saints and Falcons. Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.